I'll get Gibbons.
Yes, sir. I know. I don't look like your typical Gibbons.
You don't, man. How you doing, man?
Good. How you
It's
doing?
good to see you. Yeah, it's great. It's lonely out there at the dealership without you.
Yeah, I know. Had to take care of a lot of stuff. But yeah, I miss you guys.
You're not missing much though.
No.
Honestly, I still sell cars. You used to. I don't know if you're ever gonna get back in the car business.
Yeah, I mean, the car business is always going to be there. But yeah, the good thing is the car business is never going to go anywhere. We're always going to need vehicles. So I had so many moving parts. I had to focus on me a little bit, recenter, and then either car business or whatever else life throws at us.
Well, that's actually one of the main things I want to get into is, are you gonna make your brand, your product, into a full-time? Is that best case scenario?
That's the goal, best case scenario, yes. Woofy-Bites and whatever else comes out of, obviously, the social media, the people I meet, as yourself, try to get on the same, I don't like calling myself an entrepreneur, but, the entrepreneur train, because at the end of the day, I'm tired of the rat race. And the matrix or whatever they call it.
It really is, man.
Yeah, I'm so tired. I'm over all that. I'm focusing on me, what makes me happy, and I like that I get to meet people like you that are in the same situation.
Is this your first business?
No.
So
yeah. One Life Pros is still my business now, but it's just I did it for family and friends and close. One Life Pros is still going to be out, just so y'all know. It's just you can only do so many things without overloading yourself, so you got to focus on one thing at a time. And my life is trying to figure myself out first as a person, and I feel like if you don't do that first, it's going to be real hard for you to focus on anything else.
Yeah, I agree, man. You have to have a pretty stable foundation for you to feel abundant, creative, and for you to go after it, because they say a lot of young guys make money, build businesses because they have a chip on their shoulder and they have something to prove to the world. Sure, if any of that is fuel. Tell me about Woofy-Bites, man. Tell me about what's motivating you. Why this brand? Did it happen by accident with that viral video?
Yeah. No. So Woofy-Bites actually started with our first dog. His name is Denario. He's 4 years now. He's very sensitive to all the chemicals and the crap that's the extra fillers and all the chemicals and stuff that you can't even pronounce sometimes when you're reading it. So stomach problem. He's the one that began getting me into, let's start a dog treat business that focuses on health, is obviously number one, but something that doesn't have all these crazy, like the list is, if you go back and you turn on most big brand dog food, like stuff you can't even pronounce. So I was just like, I was tired of that. We have awesome dog people, so when you're dealing with dog people, they're like committed to they're like our kids. Like I swear, like your dogs are out there. If not, I would have the dogs here, but it would have been, that's why I dove all in and I did everything myself, and me and my girlfriend, something that's ours but also benefits all dogs. The dogs that have like sensitive stomach problems and skin problems and stuff like that. So yeah, Woofy-Bites made with 2 ingredients. Senior dogs, old dogs, allergy dog. If they're not allergic to sweet potato and oat flour, it's like the easiest treat to give to a dog.
That's incredible. Like, I actually haven't heard of a dog that has, well, maybe I didn't pay attention to other dogs that have stomach problems or dietary restrictions, kind of like dogs are going vegan now or something. But
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Maybe our generation definitely treats our dogs like kids, and it's rightly so. Our dogs go on the bed. They go everywhere.
My dogs don't go on the bed. That's our safe zone. They have their doggy bed.
I lived in a terrible neighborhood once, and this is maybe where you shouldn't have your dog in your bed. Ghetto neighborhood. My dog probably picked up fleas somewhere around there, brought the fleas back.
Oh man.
And I don't know if it was fleas or ticks or bed bugs or whatever it was, but I was starting to get bit everywhere. And I got traumatized after 2 weeks of just constantly getting bit and cleaning and shampooing our dog to get the fleas out. It was rough. But yeah, I can see why you don't want to have your dog.
Yeah. Our dogs they're supposedly hypoallergenic because I get a lot of allergies too, so that's a reason why I clean a lot, because there's congestion and coming to Texas. Oh man, Texas, man, I didn't know about allergies until I came here.
It's different for everybody. I guess I get allergies everywhere I go. I need to just get those allergy shots and did that for a little bit, but
yeah, I didn't do none of that. I've never. People are just drink allergy medication. I don't do no.
I do a nasal spray.
I drink it all. I drink alkaline water. That's what I do.
So what kind of breed? And you have 3 dogs?
We have Denario, which is the first one. He's 4, and then Ava, she's 3, and then Canelo now he's 2. So mom, dad, and son. He's the only survivor of 4 puppies.
Oh.
Yeah. Denario and Canelo are both they have their own little following and stuff. It's pretty cool. Denario went viral, obviously, from the video I showed you.
How many views?
44 million, I think.
Is that the first video that went viral for you? Or?
A few, but yeah, that big, that viral was that one, 44 million. And then Canelo, he has like 24 million. So they got their own little accounts. They're the famous ones. I'm just I'm the chauffeur.
The agent.
Driver. It's funny that you say that. Is people always said, because I always like posting videos of dogs and like information. People were always just like, not much is gonna come from that, and now they have over 500,000 followers on, I think, TikTok, and then like 65K on Facebook. So
and it's up 10-15K since the last time you told me. Not even a month
really
ago.
Yeah, you're right.
Last time.
Yeah, it was in the 50s last time. Yeah, that's right. Damn, it's been a whole month, huh?
Time flies, man. How did you get your dog to pee in the toilet?
That's still a secret. That'll be for a whole nother video. I mean, like, there's been so many comments and messages about just that video. I've yet to release that video. Yeah, the secret's still there.
So then, you were telling me that your dog had some stomach problems, and my mother-in-law's dog, she's been beating her bits and kibbles, like the $15 big bag, cheapest bottom of dog food for her whole life, and you can kind of see it in her coat. It's not she's older, but I guess the quality of the food determines maybe how long they live and how they look in their coat later on.
Researching that, and so it does have a lot to do with diet, because all these different companies, it's just processed food. So just like with us, how we eat a lot of processed foods, and then there's cancers and diseases. Same thing with dogs. So it relays real close to everything. So a lot of people, anything with the less amount of chemicals is the best thing you can do for your dogs. So obviously all the dog food nowadays is all highly processed and generic ingredients, and just to keep the food good for that whole time. I've been trying to dive into that and try to help in my own way with my own dogs, and I spend a lot of money on my dog food. They eat better than we do.
Yeah, man.
Because I literally feel like they're like my kids. Like, unfortunately, I don't have kids yet, but a lot of people are like, that's crazy. Like, you'll see videos of me with my dog on the baby strap with the harness. On a bike or whatever. It's just like, they're our kids. We don't have kids yet, and I feel like they're like our kids.
So you made the treats for them. Look up recipes? Like, how did it become a business? Like, when did... So
we looked, yes, it was a lot of research and everything, but sweet potato is like probably the safest ingredient when it comes to dogs, because it's I think it's a vegetable. Don't quote me, my mind's everywhere. Like my buddy owns a alkaline store, Blue Jug, here in Austin, Texas. And so everything is done with the dog's health in mind, so to the fact to where you can have one yourself. And I think, have you tried one? I think
it looks good. I do gotta taste it.
You gotta try one. They're good. It's like a sweet potato cookie. It's pretty good.
The dogs love it, of course. That's the secret. The other day you told me you were up all night processing orders. Are these some soft launches that you did, or?
Yeah, we haven't really. I haven't gone too heavy on everything else, just because of the fact of learning how to mass produce it and still keep the quality. So everything that people have gotten has been me and my girl staying up to 2, 3 in the morning, making sure everything's good, and there's no moisture, and a lot of factors go into it. So we didn't realize that, and then before we started, and then boom, everything happened, and now we're just one day at a time.
What are you currently focused on towards building the business?
Right now, we're just looking to just make a dog's day happy. So, you know, I know every day when we give them a treat, they love it. So just the fact that it's gonna make other dogs happy, it's pretty cool. And then that'll be for later, because that's gonna be a big one. You know?
That's cool. I saw you went probably by where you used to live, but like some fairs or like some festivals or something like that, and you had like your own tent out there.
Yeah. We were a vendor at Circle Brewing in Elgin. They did a launch, and a lot of locals came out, and then we're going to be in a gas station out there as well. And that's our next challenge, is trying to make Woofy-Bites everywhere without losing quality or the amount of time that we put into it.
Yeah, you don't want to compromise those values.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me think of some Shark Tank examples.
Yeah.
Like, would you be willing to sell it?
No, that's where we're going. That's where we want to end up, on Shark Tank.
Shark Tank?
Just to say we got to Shark Tank, that would be cool, in my opinion. Yeah. Just to say
how much percentage would you sell? Like, I know you said you have to have some sales and.
Yeah, I can't release that information, because then they can find this video and.
Like I said, I'll be.
Right. No, yeah, that would be cool if we ended up there. That'd be the goal. But I mean, startups start somewhere, so we're here and taking it one day at a time, and you know, God is good. You know, I don't want to promote it as just Christians or just Catholics. Any religion. It doesn't matter what religion you're from. I don't like preaching that because my girl grew up going to Catholic churches, and I did too. My dad was Catholic as well, and I grew up in Christian churches as well. So religion itself, I don't like to get into like the politics of it, but you know, as long as you believe in the goodness of your heart, of what God is, then you know, we can talk.
What do you feel like are some of the challenges that you've had to figure?
Being a business owner isn't easy.
Your girl helps you out, right? You're not a one-man show right now?
She helps me. We got a little team going. But as for what we're going to do, we try to just take everything with a grain of salt, because we've never done anything like this. You know, we've just, one day at a time. I see a vision, and I pray on it every night, and hope, you know, one day everything you do in the past is what's going to bear fruit for the future. So it's just a lot of moving parts at all.
I've had a startup too where I was meal prepping and just making healthy prepared meals for customers. I used to work at other businesses where they did the same thing. That's why I'm like, this is a great idea. Healthy meals. You can just buy a week's worth of meals and, you know, get your nutrition down. So I'm like, I could do this business myself too. Out of my mom's kitchen, just taking some orders from friends and family, and got tough. Like, you run out of fridge space, and then you need to start hiring people and buying commercial equipment, and then we found a commercial kitchen to go into, and it was tough.
What did you learn out of that though?
I learned personally that wasn't the business I wanted to do. Like, I wasn't a good enough entrepreneur, and I wasn't a good enough business owner to. That's why I don't have it anymore, because that is a common thing too, that, you know, you are the business, right? And then let's just say you were to get 1,000 orders. I'm Joe Rogan size kind of podcast. Buy Woofy-Bites. Where's the link?
Yep.
The site blows up. Like, you know, I was probably making 500 meals a week there, and that was tough. But I wouldn't have been able to handle more without scaling properly. What do you feel like your peak production is going to be before you have to really take that next step of scaling up?
That's a good question. That's what we're trying to figure out now. So
you had like 30 or how many orders like at once that you said you had to stay up all night for? Or?
We had to do over 100 orders in one night. It was
one night, 100 orders.
It was a lot. It was over. Yeah, it was over. It was over. It was 200-300 cookies in total. I don't remember what it was, but I just remember like, and then we had burned. I burned.
Oh.
I'm gonna say we because it was my fault. She'll probably kill me for that. But I burned 2 batches, which was over 200 cookies, because I was too busy doing one thing and I forgot to put a timer, and it's a lot of work. So that's what a lot of people don't understand is like, yeah, anybody can start up something, but everything that you do you gotta realize there's a cost of your time, effort, and just because I know it's for me and what we're trying to build, and I feel proud of it, so it's pretty cool. It's a weird kind of stress. It's not like the typical stress, if you're 9 to 5 or you're 50, 60 hours a week. It's like you're doing something that it's for you, that you're saying something I'm proud of.
You should be proud of it, man. That's
awesome. Right?
I've done that once, man. I've actually hired
From Fiverr,
yeah. Things like that. Upwork. One of my favorite books for like $5, $10, $15.
I want to read it. That's from Tim.
Tim Ferriss. Yeah,
Tim Ferriss. I haven't read it, but I've heard a lot. I've seen a lot of segments of it, so yeah, I want to read it.
I owe that book a lot. I read it once, but then I think I was just ready to read it the second time.
Let's save that for the podcast.
I turned it on.
We're live already, bro. Oh shit! I didn't even know. I was like, I thought you were. I thought we were waiting. I was like, hold on, save that for the podcast.
The best way is to creep it in. So the 4-Hour Workweek, incredible book. I highly recommend everybody to read it. It helps you really think about your life in a different way. We're talking about the Matrix and the rat race, and he calls it the deferred life plan. Originally, when I was 18, 19, I wanted to make a shitload of money so I could travel the world. That to me was success.
Yeah.
I guess I grew up watching the History Channel because my stepdad always would play it. So like the pyramids and Great Wall of China and stuff like that, right? So I guess I just felt like that experience of traveling was missing in my life because I was always chasing the dollar bill. So it's actually pretty damn cheap to travel. What's keeping you broke is the rat race, where you make a little bit of money and then you just spend it on everything else. So I said, fuck it. I watched this documentary called Minimalism, and it's not that good of a documentary, but the idea is obviously you are very conscious on the stuff that you buy.
Yeah.
And
I saw snippets of that.
You did?
Yeah.
It's a little old. I guess I've read a few books. The Power of Now is one of them. It's by Eckhart Tolle, and that kind of got me out of my head. It allowed me to recenter in a meditative state. With all those things combined in like a short span of time, I decided we sold a car. We sold any of our technologies that we weren't bringing with us, any furniture, and I was watching a lot of YouTube, this one particular channel called Lost LeBlanc, and he was big time into Bali, Indonesia. That's apparently a digital nomad hotspot. And it looked like the best place to live because you can live like a king and a queen for $1,000 a month, everything included. So what that looked like is a $500 one-way ticket, which is still around $500 to go that far. It's total of like 20-something hours. Yeah. We went from El Paso to Atlanta, all the way overnight to Seoul, South Korea.
Damn.
Yeah. We spent 8 hours there, and then we took a flight to Bali. From Seoul to Bali, that flight was 10 hours. So when you're already in South Korea, another 10 hours to get to Bali.
That's insane.
And when you get there, it's a busy city. Our really nice villa was only $20 a day with a nice pool. They made your bed every day. But you don't have a kitchen or anything, but you don't need it because all these...
Damn.
Yep.
Where is this again?
Bali, Indonesia. But really it's any third world country because Mexico can be pretty cheap too.
Yeah. Mexico and Guatemala and all these other... I've yet to do any of those. That's what I was gonna ask you. I was like, that was one thing that I've always wanted to do. Is man, freaking buy a motorhome or something, just travel the world. It ain't cheap. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. especially here in the States. But you did it like, obviously, what, in a backpack and just let's go.
A backpack. This mentor I met in Bali, his name's Gus. I've actually been with him for a few years, and he's incredible. Business partner as well. All he does is a light backpack and a little briefcase. All your things that you think you need might only cost a couple of dollars. So you can just buy them there and stay light. Your laundry, you just wash it, $2-3, and you get all your laundry washed and folded and delivered. It's just pretty cool when you break out of that bubble, of that matrix bubble.
Out of US matrix bubble,
which all happened because of that 4-hour work week book. It helps you develop a lifestyle. And he says that for every few months of working, like 6 months of working, he'll take 1 month off. For every couple years of working, he'll take like a longer period off. And I know you're doing that right now, right? You're taking some time off?
Yeah, I'm taking, it's like been what, like 2-3 weeks moving. Yeah, I was moving from a 4-bedroom, 2-story home to now an apartment.
Did you have to sell stuff or get rid of stuff? Or?
Yeah, I'm still in the process of all that. So yeah, it's not easy. Adjusting is the hardest part because you're used to one thing and then you got to do something else. It was definitely not easy, but I'm glad I've learned a lot. Learned to appreciate certain things, and then you learn new things you never had seen. So that's what I met a lot of cool people out here, and I don't know. When you get out of your comfort zone, that's when you're just like, it takes you to your next level. So people think that, I want to be doing this for the stability, but no, it's not for stability, it's your comfort zone. Nobody likes being outside their comfort zone because it requires work, it requires be happy, everybody, but there's no such thing as like just, life is like a roller coaster. You have your ups, you have your downs, but if you want to grow as a person, you have to do things that are going to stress you a little bit, but it's going to get you out of that zone, and then that's what I've been trying to do. I remember visiting my mother-in-law in Mexico. We were only there for like maybe 2 weeks, and the days lasted forever, and we just did things we wanted to do, and people take naps during the day. People just walk the block just because they want to walk the block. Like the time wasn't counted like how we count it here. So
it's a blessing and a curse being in the USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
The capitalist machine, the nice material things that they flash, like the nice house with the marble kitchen
countertops and
right.
That's all part of the rat race.
And it's there for you, but
it looks good.
I think that balance is what that book actually helped me do. That when you die, you actually don't care about those things. You care about the memories and the experiences.
What you left behind.
Which only reaffirms what I want to do. Honestly, I guess I'm not scared or not. I don't care what they say or what they do, but I'm going to take a year off, man. I have 349 days, I'm counting them, where I'm just going to take a year off. It might not be a full year, it's going to be 6 months or whatever, but in that year, I'm going to travel again. I want to see the pyramids. I want to...
Where, in Egypt?
One of the things he told me about was there's this really cool show that they put on. Like, I think they're feeding these manta rays. And this is outside of the coast of Big Island, Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And at nighttime, they go down enough for a scuba diver to go down deep into the ocean, and they have these lights, and these manta rays are just like swimming around, dancing and flying, and it's pitch black everywhere. But let's just call it the dance of the manta rays. That's something I want to do. So before this 349 days is up, I gotta get scuba certified. You have to actually go through that whole course.
And that's a long course.
I want to go to Japan, of course South America, all of Europe, catch a Premier League soccer game. There's a lot of things I want to do because life is definitely not just about working.
Mm-hmm.
It's about slowing down to smell the roses. It's got me all wound up and going on this travel bug. Like,
no,
I'm excited. Like, I'll work hard and I'll do the job. But hopefully in that year time frame, I'm still going to be working hard. You know, that's actually something that car sales and sales has been good for me, is that work ethic.
Yeah.
Right?
You have good work ethic, anything's possible.
Exactly, and how I was before in the years past, I was just lazy compared to now. There's always different levels, right? Like that saying goes, your best is somebody else's warm-up. It's because there's just levels to this game. There's levels to focus, there's levels to entrepreneurship.
But if you focus on those levels, that's where you can get lost. Because at the end of the day, someone's always going to be better and somebody's going to be worse. Focus on you. Don't compare yourself with the Joneses. That's going to keep you in the rat race. I want to put that out there twice. Don't compare yourself with nobody. Focus on your path and what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to end up in that 6-foot box.
Yeah, like I'm not comparing myself to the success of some of your social accounts. Like I know.
No, that's not even success. Like for me, that's nothing. Like imagine the people that have millions and millions of followers. They're still not happy. They have millions of followers. They have all the money in the world. They can do whatever they want. They're still not happy. So you can't measure your success on followers or people's opinions or like do the things you want to do. Like everything you just ranted about. Well, people call it a rant. It's what you want to do. It's what gets you up in the morning. That's what life should be about. Us going after the things we want to do, not what people think we should do. Or
I love that. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have a huge savings account. When we came back from Bali, we decided to live in Hawaii. And we loved it so much, instead of going home, because our money was running out, instead of going home, I bought this piece of crap Camry. Luckily, I convinced the guy to sell it to me in payments, so I didn't have to give up all my cash. I had like $5,000 left. I gave him like $2,000 or $3,000. The rest I was gonna do in payments. I overpaid for the car for that. And when things got pretty low, so I waited till my bank accounts were almost completely gone, like nothing.
Damn.
In the island of Hawaii, where you feel completely rich just being on there. And but I was still pretty dumb. I was still in my young 20s, and we were about to sleep in our car, and I was about to not eat for a whole day because I didn't have any money, because I was just gonna fast. I would pawn my electronics just so I could pay the next bill or something, because I was just about to get paid. Because when you start a new job, you have to work, and then in 2 weeks or something, then you get paid.
Rat race.
So I was on that thin thread, but if you are living your dream, you can sleep in your car. That is rock bottom financially, but it was not even bad. Like we didn't sleep in the car.
A lot of people judge those people that are asking for money, and nobody knows the story. And yeah, I would never be on the corner. You never know how tough you got it until me growing up in a Hispanic family, like nobody taught us any of this stuff. When I was in my early 20s and a kid, like I was selling Mexican candy at school.
You were?
I didn't like nobody buying me anything.
Middle school, high school?
Middle school and high school.
You were selling candy?
I was selling candy. I even had
your locker or what?
Yeah, my backpack. I had fucking everything you can imagine. Like they don't even sell them anymore, like the watermelon suckers back in the day when they looked like little watermelons, and the pulparinos. I did all of that. Like I would sell candy. I would figure it out on my own. I even made my brothers and sisters sell all their candy in a tough situation, but we were all. That's the main goal, and in my sense is like you can't judge happiness on money, because then you can have everything in the world and still be. Yeah, if you have money, it solves problems, but it doesn't make you happy. It's just, I've been trying to do that too, try to get to a point to where I have enough money to do all the things that I want to do. Hence travel. I have yet to do any of the stuff you've done. I want to do that, but it's on the list. I have a huge checklist.
Just depends where on the list it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know you got some other priorities and things too, but I guess for a couple years I was like, okay, when I was chasing this business where they would dangle that carrot, like if you do this, it's one of those network marketing things. Yeah, like if you do this, if you do this good, then you can have this.
Yeah.
In other words, that business I never owned, completely owned me.
Oh,
and I had to just wake up and, you invest your whole life into something, but the degree to which you really want that thing is also the degree at which you're afraid of letting it go.
Yeah.
You have to kind of just open yourself up to the universe and be like,
let go and let go.
If it happens, it happens. Like, you have to release yourself from the outcomes. I think one of the scariest things for people is to have their bank accounts so low, they wonder if you're going to starve to death. But beans and rice,
go a long way.
Beans and rice is cheap, man. Like,
you'd be
you
surprised.
won't starve.
You'd be surprised, yeah.
Go to Sam's Club or something, you get free samples and you can get full off of that.
I grew up on cup of noodles, beans and rice, and then when stuff was really tough, we would the little tostadas, we would break them up into small little pieces. It goes back to that comfort zone. Have that comfort zone that you need to break out of, and it all starts from what you want to do in life. If that's all you want to do in your life is be that person that has the job, that has this, that has that, that's good, because it's something you want to do, you know what I mean? This is talking about tired of the rat race, tired of not feeling what they're doing has purpose, and that's where I got to. I wanted to have something that I felt proud of and that wanted to have some kind of purpose to do something, not do it because I have to do it. And then that's hard, that's realizing your purpose. I'm still working on that, but I feel like feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're always going to be working on your purpose, to figure out what your purpose is, in this life. We all have a purpose. You just got to find it.
It's big time. And I love what you said. That purpose-driven life is really important to identify in your own individual life, because it's usually not because I need to get another laptop, because I need to get a bigger house.
New phone.
Yeah, it's usually not I need this much in my bank account. That's why people get burnt out. When I go to work, I know I have 349 days. I write in my journal every day and it's a countdown. That's what that book talks about, is having mini retirements. What kind of lifestyle you want to have. And when I have this next mini retirement, I'm going to apply my work ethic and focus and discipline into building myself the kind of lifestyle I want to have. I want to make online income. I want to have a waiting list of high-end coaching clients. I want to have ad revenue from this podcast. I want to be interviewing some of the top people around the world, and I want to be, eventually, the ultimate goal is to make it to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah,
that's like cool. The top of the pyramid, right?
That'd be awesome.
Yep. But I did get to see him at his comedy show. You should check out the Mothership. It's awesome. Like,
he's doing them here in Austin.
Yeah, he opened his own comedy studio. And it's awesome. It's kind of alien themed based.
No way.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Funny enough too, little promo that he named the big room Fat Man and the small room Little Boy, and he named them after the atomic bombs that were detonated.
No way.
In Japan.
Damn.
Yes. So there's also a movie coming out called Oppenheimer that just looks good. Christopher Nolan, the same dude from Interstellar, he's in Inception. The director, he is making that Oppenheimer movie. It's pretty deep.
Blue Bean Project is what they're saying.
What is it called?
You haven't gone into Blue Bean?
Blue Bean?
We'll save that for another video. Oh. Yeah. It's a system that creates UFOs, so that way they can control. Like, hey, we're getting there's an invasion of aliens, and it's all just projections. So it's not like a real UFO. They're projecting a UFO in through the atmosphere. Yeah, so that's another rabbit hole.
Navy and military have like documented like unidentified objects that.
Yeah, like the Tic Tac and.
Yeah, exactly. They're just extremely fast spaceships.
Yeah. It's
kind of like its own built-in like humbling mechanism. Like if you have all this success, I'm just gonna shut up and listen. If my weapons are this powerful, the only response is, how did you do it? How did you get guiding us in a way and just kind of watching from afar? Or really, if they are us, just who really knows what's going on, because it's obviously not in plain sight. But that's kind of where all this conspiracy stuff goes into
theory.
is that they hide in plain sight. But one thing I know for sure is I'm never going to trust our government. Look at what happened with COVID, 9/11. It's kind of like the parallel there. But one thing I have been paying attention to is this debt ceiling debate. They're just going to continue to kick the can down the road. Nobody's going to pay for it. Who knows how big this bubble's going to be until it pops. But that's why I got some money in Bitcoin, some money in gold, some money in the stock market and tech. But
just diversify and hope for the best. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Did you get the vaccine?
No.
Me neither, dude. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Kyle, what do you got going on? Where can people find you?
Social media, you can find us at Woofy-Bites. I think it's Woofy.bites. And then you can find me on social media, Kyle Anthony Gibbons. And then One Life, you can find us at One Life KG on TikTok.
Well, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Leave a comment below. I'll respond to every single one. I'll see you guys on the next interview. Peace.